Hey, can you buy my incomplete master set of all the vintage cards that I had when I was a kid? Let's talk about the right way to do this on any platform, Instagram, Facebook, even eBay, and in person especially. Listen, I vend card shows and I see this all the time. People come up to me with their childhood collections and they have all their vintage cards from when they were a baby and a young kid and middle school, whatever. Guys, there's a certain way to do this, right? And I'm not saying that you can't go up to somebody and just do this, but like you're gonna get cooked if you do it like that. Because if you don't come correct and know like what you're talking about and know what your cards are, you're not gonna maximize what you can sell to a vendor for or sell to anybody for in general. Sure, maybe you get lucky and somebody will just buy it because, but like guys, in reality, like know your stuff. And I'm gonna teach you today about how to know your stuff, what kind of resources you can use to know your stuff, and why I think it's important to know your stuff. I'm gonna show a little clip from the last card show that I was at that really opened my eyes to this. Somebody came up to me, they had a binder full of cards. And he's like, hey, do you buy vintage? Like, sure, I buy vintage, of course. But the guy didn't really know anything about his cards, and that's okay. They weren't even his. He was like, I'm selling them for a friend. And I was like, all right, well, like, what's your goal here? And he's like, oh, I want to make some money. Like, all right, you know, listen, anybody who's selling vintage cards that they got when they were a kid is making some money, right? Because chances are your parents bought that for you or something, you know, whatever. But like, you didn't pay anything for those cards, most likely. So anything you get now is full profit, but you should know what your cards are and how to recognize what your cards are worth and what resources you can use to find out what your cards are worth. And today, like, we're going to talk about that. So let's get started. Guys, if you could do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe on this video. It really helps me out. You know, we love to keep the content rolling. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It helps me out. I spend a lot of time on these videos, as I've said multiple times. I know I'm wearing the same sweatshirt as the last video because I recorded these both on the same day. So, sorry for my appearance. Let's talk about the content. I'm gonna show you a clip about somebody who came up to me at a card show and the interaction. It's gonna be a little bit longer, but like it's important for you guys to watch the interaction.
Yeah. Are you interested in buying vintage?
I'll buy vintage. What do you got?
A ton.
I can check it out.
So this is a coworker of mine.
Okay.
Collected as a child.
Okay.
Everything's been sealed up in a binder for 20 years.
Okay. And does he have like a list on what he wants for everything, or?
No. I have a list quickly made up.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
What does he want for this?
For everything?
Yeah.
No idea.
Not a clue?
No idea.
Well, that's gonna be
told
tough.
me, he was like, hey, listen, sell what you can sell. The very last page has a shadowless seal of the champ.
Cool. So he just said, bring this show and sell it. That's what happened, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Can I ask you a question? You don't want to buy this?
I bought what I want to buy. So if I added everything up, not including the champ, just because I don't know
Okay.
what to comp that at because there's prices all over the place, it's $28.99.
Okay, so do you have a list, or like where did you get to that number? Is just what I want to know.
TCG for a lot of it, and then whatever I wasn't confident with TCG, I went eBay last time.
Okay.
And this is within the week.
Okay.
That he gave it to me last week.
Can I see the list?
Yeah, absolutely. So whatever's in red is pulled out, so I had to like do it all individually with
Okay. Sure. I just want to like do a little compare and contrast of like. All right, so let's start.
On there. The only thing that's not.
Let's start with like.
I have to subtract
these two.
some of it because Jungle, I have a separate for that. No, I didn't have Jungle.
Charizard, we have at LP. All right, let's check it out. All right, so this is 100% damage right there.
Oh, shit. See, now.
See, like, that's what scares me about, you know what I mean? So that's what tells me, like, I probably have to comp this whole lot and look at each card, and then I'm going to do that. And then if you say no to it, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of time for me at a show. So I think, unfortunately, bro, like, I would buy this at an extreme wholesale, but I don't know if I'm going to be the guy that's going to spend the show comping the whole thing.
No,
to be quite honest with you. You get me? All right, cool.
Now, are you local to the area?
I am, yeah. Like, dude, I'm down to sit at a coffee shop and, like, do this the right way.
Yeah.
But, like, at a show here, you get me, right? I'm Nick, by the way.
No, Patrick.
Nice to meet you, bro. Yeah, but like, this is the kind of deal, this is a coffee shop deal, you know?
Yeah.
This is like, we're probably having a drink for like an hour, going through, comparing, because like, if you came up to me and you're like, I want $1,000, I'll hand you $1,000, and I'll take the gamble on what I find, but like, when you get to the 2s and the 3s, it's gotta come correct. All right, so this guy came up to me with his cards, he had a binder full of cards, and I had asked him, I was like, do you have a list of what your cards are? Like, listen, all right, what do I mean by a list? What is a list? Guys, use TCG Player. Is it the most accurate? Maybe not all the time for vintage and low pop stuff. You can use eBay comps, right? Sure, and I'll talk about that. But TCG Player is an application on your phone that you can download, and it's important to learn how to use it. So let's talk about how to use it. Download the TCG Player app. Create a username and password. Make a profile, all right? Because you're not gonna stop using this app. Even if you use it once, maybe you get into cards, maybe you use it again, right? Go ahead and open up the TCG Player app, hit collections on the bottom in the middle. Hit the plus button on the bottom right, hit new list, create the list. Name it My Vintage Cards, create new list. You're gonna click on that list, hit the plus button in the bottom right, and hit search. Type in Charizard base set, and find the base set Charizard that you're looking for, just a normal base set one. You're gonna hit the variant options, change the condition. Let's say your card's lightly played. Change it to LP, and then hit plus, change it from 0 to 1, hit the plus to make it 1, and then add. Now you have the Charizard base set that's lightly played in your TCG list, and you see that it's $390. So your asking price, market value of your Charizard base set that's lightly played is $390. Easy. Now guys, you could search this list if you add a bunch of random cards in there and you want to find them, whatever, you can hit the search list button at the top. But just keep adding cards to this. Take every single card that you have and just add it to the list. So let's take the Clefairy out, right? All right, my Clefairy's out. My Clefairy is kind of cooked in this master set. Probably mod play. So we're gonna put it in there. We're gonna add it as mod play. So guys, when you add all of your cards that you have into your list, you make a list. And that list you can go up to the vendor for and show them, hey, this is what I want for my cards. When you show them the list, here's what's important. Come correct with your conditions. Because people come up to us and they can show us these lists. Maybe they're over conditioning their cards. If your card says near mint and it is mod play, a vendor's gonna look at that right away and they are gonna notice. This is gonna potentially kill your deal. So come correct with your conditions. There's a scale of 5 different conditions. Near mint, lightly played, moderately played, heavily played, and damaged. If you have any creases, even one, the card is damaged. Let's be clear on that. If you have a lot of whitening on the back and the card isn't creased, but it's cooked, right? Front and back is cooked. It is heavily played. If the card is kind of all right on the front, the back is some whitening, and it's, kind of looks like it's got some dirt on it because you rolled around with it in the mud, but it's not creased, it's mod play. If the card isn't perfect, it has maybe a few imperfections, it looks good on the front, maybe it has a little bit of whitening on the back, it's lightly played, all right? A lightly played card doesn't need to be perfect. It's lightly played. It is played in the sense, right? And near mint. Notice the term near mint. That doesn't mean mint plus plus plus. If you want to charge more because a card is mint plus plus plus, like I get it, right? I would charge more for a card that's mint plus 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 because it's most likely a grading play and you should just grade it, especially if it means something to you. Like don't sell your cards if they mean anything to you, number one. That's a little side note. Near mint means near, all right? Close to, near, almost, near. So keep that in mind, it means near mint. When you consider the scale, make a list, bring it up to a vendor. Now, this guy came up to me, he showed me the list. What I do is I cross-reference right away, instantly. So I look at your list, okay, I notice and I look for the big one first to see, okay, where is the value of these cards that he's trying to sell me and where am I gonna notice a discrepancy if there is one? So the first thing that I do is I notice that the Charizard is like lightly played and I'm like, all right, he showed me this list of like a notes pad of like, hey, this is a lightly played Charizard. And I'm like, all right, let's take the Charizard out. I took the Charizard out. All right, so this is 100% damaged. I was like, bro, this card's cooked. Like this card is damaged. So, come correct when you come try to sell to us because we'll buy your cards. We'll probably give you a good price for the cards, especially if they like mean something to you. Like every vendor is negotiable. And it isn't this dark world where every vendor is a POS. Like come to the right vendors. You come to my team, we'll take care of you every single time. But that's not just to plug myself and my guys. Like just go to the right people, somebody who actually knows cards and they want to care about you and have a relationship with you. Like that's who you want to sell to. It's business. Make a good relationship because if you get a certain percentage one time, you might get more the next time just because you already got that first, set in stone deal. And that's what I do is like, maybe I pay you 80% on the first one, but if you come back to me with more cards, like I'll pay you 85. I want to help you out. Recurring business, referrals. We help people for that. Send your friends. You get me. This guy brought me a lot and I was looking at it and I was like, bro, like your conditions are totally wrong. If you come in and your conditions are all wrong, like I'm just gonna make you a wholesale offer on it and like take a chance, but like it's a gamble for me. Like people say vendors should just buy your cards. Like we're not gonna buy your cards unless we can potentially turn your cards into more. That's why we put money into this. Otherwise we just buy things that we want for our PC like we do. So come correct at card shows, come correct on eBay, like know your prices, come correct on Instagram and understand like, if you know your conditions and know your stuff and you know how to sell something, like you're gonna be successful in selling your cards, but do it the right way. Maximize your profit, it's really important. Understand what condition your cards are, understand what cards that you have, and you're gonna get to the point where you're in a good spot to sell your cards the right way. So guys, yes, this interaction was interesting. I kind of felt bad for the guy, but like, look, my thing is this, if somebody's gonna sell their cards to me and I'm gonna spend a lot of time on it, like we're closing the deal. So this is how I do things and how I agree on a deal. I tell the person, we're gonna agree on the condition. Is it near mint? Is it light play? Is it mod play? Is it heavy play? Is it damaged? Okay, we agree on damage, right? If the card's worth $70 and I tell them I'm gonna pay them a certain percentage of whatever the lot is at the end, like that is agreed upon. So if you come up to somebody at a card show and you say, hey, what are my cards worth? Like not every vendor is gonna wanna just tell you, oh, this is $100, this is 150, because like we spent money to be at that card show and our time. So not only am I spending money to be there, but I'm spending my time to be there. I don't wanna condition out all of your cards and then you turn around and say you don't wanna sell them to me. So understand that when you wanna sell to a vendor, if you're gonna present this opportunity, the expectation is you should close it. A vendor can make you a terrible offer, but you know, if the vendor doesn't make that offer until the end, that's on the vendor, all right? If I tell you that I'm gonna give you this percentage, if I tell you I'm gonna buy these cards, but we agree on the condition, we are closing at the end of it. And that's how you come correct at a card show. So maximize your time and my time, and maximize the money that you can get for your cards. It's really important. Understand that, you know, we care about you guys too, and that these cards mean something to you. We do this for a hobby, we do this for fun. You know, some people do it for a living, not me personally, but I just have a blast with it and I love cards. So I love setting up at shows and meeting people. But yeah, guys, that's really how you do it. Like approach a vendor, understand your stuff, know your conditions, and you'll be very successful in being able to sell your cards. I promise you that. Guys, that's today's video. Just a little conversation about how to come correct at a card show. I just want more people to be educated on how to sell cards because it seems like new lots and new cards from childhoods are coming up every day with how much Pokemon is booming. So just take these tips, use them, utilize them, use TCG Player. You can go on eBay and check the last sold, and we'll do another video on that for, you know, lower population cards. Like if you have a stamped reverse, like those are harder. You're not just gonna put that into TCG Player. It's not as consistent with the sales. But if you have like OG base vintage cards, like the TCG Player is pretty accurate for the condition, all right? And I will say that. It's also a way that other vendors and other sellers in this space go off of and use as kind of our Bible. So, you know, follow the Bible, do it the way that everybody does it, and everybody's gonna be able to help you out and buy your cards, and you'll be able to get some money to be able to go do other things with that money. Like I said, I buy couches with Pokemon cards. I, you know, fix plumbing in my house with Pokemon cards, and you know, pay friends with it, whatever. It's a jack of all trades, the Pokemon cards, right? Guys, don't forget to enter the giveaway. You know, Prismatic Evolutions binder giveaway. Prismatic's going up. Take this, rip it, put it away, whatever you want to do. You just got to comment on 2 separate videos of mine before the 20th video. I will release the winner on the 21st. Just tell me something that you learned or a takeaway that you had from the video. If you could put this is for the giveaway, it really helps me out because I put you in my list. I'm going to put everybody in the list. You guys get it, but you understand what I'm trying to say. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions. If you liked the video, please like the video. More content coming. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Nikki Cards, out.